opening these pages while we sitting at the table, getting every detail just to make sure we stay faithful. Interviewing artists and we making sure it's playful, man. Presented by Reflection, and this is Between the Staples.
What up, what up? This is Rico.
This is Louis.
And this is Marvin, co-creator, creator.
I'm a co-creator.
Well, you're everything.
No, co-creator's crazy.
No, I'm breaking it down to you're everything.
Okay.
Because this is just not, one comic. This is a whole universe.
Yes, sir.
Right?
I created it all by myself.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, this is Between the Staples, Any Spotlight, Marvin McDonald.
Yep.
And what's up?
I'm good.
Welcome back to the shop.
Thank you, sir. I haven't been here since the other weekend.
Yeah, I feel like I see him too much, right? But today we're gonna give him his moment in time. It's just 28 minutes of fame, and have him tell us about your comic book, your universe.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know, Aaron? What do you want to know?
The NE scene, and especially in Southwest Florida, is pretty banging, and he's a big reason because of it. And once again, just welcome, Swerveverse, Marvin McDonald.
Thank you. What do you want to know?
What do I want to know?
What do you want? How do you want to do this? Where are we going?
Well, first I want to know, what's your best brand of glass cleaner?
It's not that stuff you had that great value. I know that.
What do you recommend?
It's at a great value, but it's not streak free. So we know that much. It will streak up your acrylics, glasses, and everything. So
Shit.
We will leave that at that.
All right, well, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, man. Okay. All the jokes aside. Tell us about your comic book. Tell us about, this man has so many. He goes everywhere from superheroes to horror, and there's still more to come. He has a whole universe, but let's just narrow it down to, tell us about Hardcore, Chronicles of the Hit Squad.
All right, Hardcore Chronicles of the Hit Squad, basically it starts off from the red tide algae bloom. Well, not the red tide, but the algae blooms from Lake Okeechobee are contaminating us. And finally, they're happening. People are developing powers and abilities. Children are being born with special powers and abilities. And gangs are forming all over Central Florida, Southwest Florida, and starting to take over. And basically what Hardcore is telling you about one individual kid that basically is coming into his powers and his own, and his name is 8-Ball. He has a homeboy named Q, and they have this arena that the gangs have gotten together to basically test all the new kids' powers and abilities and stuff. It's called a pit, and they meet up there to get gang recognition, to get rep, for money. It's broadcast on the internet and stuff, so 8-Ball jumps into there. He has no gang affiliations or anything, and your boy start whooping people up, and they start to get noticed, and now he's got a bounty on his head because he's the unknown kid coming in there and he's whooping people up. And the rest of the gangs want to know who this kid is and how is he so powerful, and he ain't got no gang affiliation, and that basically brings you into the story.
Okay.
Perfect.
So would you say, this is a Florida-based comic book? Like a real world-based comic book, as in, can you go in your comic book and find landmarks that show us that we're in Florida?
You can go into the comic book and find landmarks. All my stuff is based out of Florida. It is a Florida-based comic book. I'm Florida homegrown, by way of the Bahamas. Everything I do is repping Florida. So when I say it's a Florida-based comic book, you could look into the comic book and you will actually see streets, buildings, monuments, and everything in all my comic books because it's based right here in Florida. It starts off in Miami, and then it brings you back into Fort Myers, Lehigh area. In my scary books, it start off in Cape Coral. You actually see the bridge and everything in there. I illustrate everything. I'm the artist, the writer, the letterer, the colorist. I do everything in my comic books except for print. No AI. No AI.
None.
No AI.
None. He's the creator, co-creator. He's the executive producer, the co-producer.
I'm a rapper, actor, / producer,
co-writer, writer,
race car driver, part-time astronaut, and cashier at Dillard's. So,
But yeah, man, so he's all over the place, man. I can't keep your comic books in my shop. Every time that, I grab your comic books, I post that they're out and they're ready to be sold, and people come in. People do come in, but at the same time, they do come in, get issue 1, but they're always asking the same thing, Marvin.
I know. When is issue 2 coming out? Well, let me tell you, everyone. Marvin is a one-man show, and I don't do comics full time. I'm trying to get to that point, so I have other employment, and I got life.
Yeah.
And sometimes that get in the way. But I will have issue number 2 of Hardcore. I will be presenting that at Ocala Comic-Con.
Okay.
And that's in September.
Okay.
So that will be dropping there. I like to drop issues at certain comic book venues at cons. And Ocala is really nice. You should get down. I think it's September 19th, around there somewhere. I'll give you the full date afterwards to make sure you come down there and see me. I will be there. I will have the issues there with me. You didn't get the first issue, come and cop the first issue and roll with the second one. And I'm going to try to have the third one out by 2027, by mid, and also have a second issue of Beyond the Red Door coming out, and have that out by next year as well too. I'm really starting to double up on everything and push out more because, like I said, when I first started doing this, it was something for fun, you know, but now it's starting to be more lucrative and people like what I'm doing, and I'm trying to make it happen.
And if I may, we're looking forward to that next issue. We are.
I appreciate that because, like I said beforehand, it starts right back off from where the first issue ended. There's no space. It's immediate after. If you didn't get the first book, I ain't gonna tell you about that. Coming down to Reflection Comics to get the first book, you'll find out. Or catch me at a Comic-Con, you'll find out.
Catch me outside.
But catch me outside. You know what I'm saying? How about that? But it starts off right from the second book.
Shout
Start
out
off
to
right from the first one. So get the book, and I just try to keep a good story going. I like doing cliffhangers, and I like keeping the reader interested. And I want you to come back. I want you to have more fun and reading the book. I try to give you good stories. Like I say, I'm writing it, so. And like I always tell people, if you like it, leave me a comment. If you didn't like it, leave me a comment. You know, but be an honest critique. Just don't hate. Yeah. Because I will find your address. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna pass it off to Lewis. Yo. He's the more mature one of the between the staples. He's gonna ask you some in-depth questions.
All right.
About your comic book. And all right, take it, man.
Right. So as you were saying earlier, right? You do everything yourself. You're the writer, the colorist. You do the editing,
the lettering.
Yeah, everything, right?
Everything.
What aspect of comic creation would you say is your favorite?
My favorite is always the art, because I can draw a comic book with no words, and you still should be able to understand what's going on with the book just from the panels itself. And I want to do a book like that too, with less words and just let you follow it, and it should be self-explanatory. As you look through the book and follow the pages, it should give you that. Comic book is a visual medium, so with that, the art should speak for itself with less words.
I love that answer, because your art in particular, you have a really, really visually pleasing art style. Now, what I want to ask is, how long did it take you to find that art style?
That art style, I've been drawing ever since I was little. I never went to an art school except for when I was in high school, took art classes. I trained myself. I looked at other people's art styles. I have my other favorite artists from doing comic books and stuff was, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, Todd McFarlane, all the guys that left the big guys and went to Image. At that point in time, those guys impressed me with their art. I lean into those guys too, but when I start going to weird stuff, I'm a traditional artist. Like I said, I like Salvador Dali. I like his stuff. I like his whole mentality about, go outside the box, create, let it flow, let your creation flow. So I do that in my art. I don't like to just have just that front facing or side facing. Yeah. I like to give you different angles, foreshortening and everything and stuff to give you a different perspective of the art and the design of the comic. So my art, I would say my style is traditional mixed with a little bit of manga, because I like my action scenes and stuff.
You can definitely tell.
So
it gives
that is
me,
dope. I love that.
It gives me almost like a neo-noir type, because you use color. It's a black and white comic, but you use color when it really, really matters. And it's like you almost reading your comic, it's almost like you get into the habit of not expecting it to be a brightly lit comic book unless it means something. unless it calls for it. And like some comic books, it can just be oversaturated with color to the point where it's just like you can't tell where one begins to the next, you know? And it almost washes out. You lose frame by frame structure of characters, background, foreground. With you've almost mastered the right color for the right panel, for the right emotion.
I feel like it emphasizes exactly what you want to emphasize.
Yeah. Like
Well, I use the color to move you through the comic book.
do you use the colors for the like? Would you say you use that color to make the reader go through a certain type of emotion? Like if you want them to feel excited or nervous, do you purposely go for like a red or orange flash or tone?
I use the colors that I think pops that would keep you intrigued and give you the emotion of what's going on in my art. So, yes, and if I put a color on it, if it don't fit, if I don't get that feel of how it's supposed to look, then I will change it. You know, so I use the color, not to say strike emotion, but I want you to get the emotion of what's going on in that panel from the art. So the color is like the art is the cake, the color is the icing on top of the cake to make it all go complete.
Would you ever consider doing a full color comic book?
Yeah, I would consider that, but I would kind of say Red Door is kind of full color, but then again, I did splash pages of more of dark tones.
You use a lot of cold tones.
Yeah, cold
and
tones.
then excitement is the red.
It's the red. So, but you mean like just a straight up traditional?
Like yeah.
I don't know. I can color that style. I can do it, but I don't know. Would that be me?
No,
I don't know.
I wouldn't. But then again,
I think if I probably
you
did
could
that,
if you wanted to.
yeah, I think if I did that, it would probably blend in with everybody else.
It'd change the atmosphere of your universe.
Yeah.
So would you say your whole universe is like a neo-noir, like pops of color, or like you know what I mean? Like if you had to put Baby Doll in a hardcore comic, how would you color her?
I still would color her in her like pale light pink dress, but I would still emphasize either make her power, her aura shine brighter than that. It would still be basically the same.
Yeah.
It would still basically be the same. I don't think I would change that. I like that concept. People like it. It keeps it interesting. And like I said, I can't lie to you. It also cuts down on time on coloring. If you ever color the comic, you know if you're trying to keep that same consistency through the whole scene and stuff.
Less is more.
But I agree. Less is more.
Less
And I also like my grayscales. I like putting that gray tone in there. Like, it still gives you the same thing, but it's just grayed out. But you still get the same energy. But if I throw the grayscale in there and then I throw a pop of color in there, it's gonna make your eyes go to that color, and it's like, what's going on here? And so I like doing that style.
Okay. Well, outside of your comic books, you're more than one dimension. Like he's not just a comic book artist or a comic book creator. You're more of a, what you say, you're creating a brand. You know,
I am trying to build a brand.
How hard is it to start out, if I would say, start out as a comic book artist, and you're known as a comic book artist, but at the same time you're trying to build a brand that has obviously a clothing line, has posters, merch,
Not regular posters.
acrylic posters,
Acrylic posters.
and merch. Like, do you ever get, do you ever fall behind, or do you ever feel like, am I better off being not a one-trick pony, but let me just do comic books and not worry about the merches and the shirts and the stickers and the posters and, the tumblers and all that stuff?
Well, I'll tell you like
How do you juggle all that?
This is what I think, and this is what I believe. I Swerve Comics, I call it the Swerverse for a reason. I have more than one idea. I have more than one comic book in my head. You've heard me tell you the whole storyline to several stories from the Swerverse itself.
This guy has a galaxy. He has a whole
I do have a full universe. I have the horror. I got the hero stuff. I have off-world stuff.
Sci-fi.
I got sci-fi stuff. But it's when you pick up Swerve Comics, I don't want you to just grab the book, and walk away with it. I want to give you more stuff with the characters. I'm trying to build a brand because I want Swerve Comics. I want the Swervers to be a total brand. It's not just about the comic book. If you really like the comic book, then there's a shirt also. If you like repping my style and like what I'm doing, get the little tumbler as well too. If you like that, I got not just paper posters, but these are acrylic posters with paint on them. It's more than just that. That'll last forever. So with that, I don't want to just give you a comic book. I want to give you the Swervers. I want you to become a Swervian. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And be part of the Swervers. And like I said, everybody, I promise you, there's more to it. It's more to come.
Like Taylor Swift? Like
I'm not a Swiftie.
Well, like a Swervy, you know?
I'm not a Swervy. Did I just say Swerver? A Swervian?
Swervian? A Swervian? A Swervite?
He keeps changing.
A Swerve Nation?
Rico, it's okay if you're a Swiftie.
You want to be a Swiftie?
I don't know. She's kind of hot. And she's a millionaire. Like, who wouldn't? A millionaire, you know? Shit.
I'm going to leave you with Taylor Swift.
Don't leave me with Taylor Swift.
Taylor.
Oh, man.
Now, speaking of your universe, right? We've established that everything you create, all of your stories, all of your works, they're all based in the same universe. At what point, when you started making comics, did you realize, like, oh, I want everything to be connected?
From the beginning, I wrote a lot of these stories when I was like working graveyard shift at odd jobs and stuff. So I would make all my stories connect because basically the Red Door is a homage to Twilight Zone and the Outer Limits.
Okay.
And if you watch the Outer Limits and stuff, a lot of those stories did intertwine. If you watch one episode, 2 stories later, it'll come back and tell you what happened to somebody else from one of those other stories. And you got to go back and look at episode 2 to see why this happened in episode 6. I like that. I like keeping that chain going back and forth, so it keeps you intrigued on the idea, the character, just building that world more. And I just like that whole idea to keep you embraced and locked in on the stories, and not whether it's the art, but also the story as well.
That idea is so dope because, like you say, it adds a lot of sustenance to what you're bringing to the table. Mm-hmm. What would you say are some key do and don'ts when you're making an extended universe? Because I'm sure that when you're in the creative process, you have to take into consideration, like, oh, this could violate this, or this could, conflict with this.
Well, I would say continuity is a must. If you have something that happens in one issue and you bring that guy back, say he got his arm shot off in this one, or he got his arm cut off in this one, if he has another arm, please put that in the book of what happened to get his arm back, or just keep your storyline straight. Like I said, I did a video today that I'll be putting out tomorrow. It basically tells you the Swerverse is not a multiverse. It's not dealing with all these different dimensions. The Swerverse is huge. It's unlimited. Anything can happen in the Swerverse. And I'm not trying to give you time travel. I hate time travel stories because different people have different interpretations of how time travel should work.
Yeah.
So not doing that.
That's a slippery
I'm going to
slope.
stay away from that. Man, I don't want in this dimension. It's another 8-ball. He does no, I'm just going to give you 8-ball. I can write you a good story to keep it going. And if I run out of stories with 8-ball, I come with another character to give you something else. I hate that kind of stuff because it does play with the continuity. But the most important thing, if you're writing a story, the do's and don'ts, is just make sure you keep your continuity straight in your story. Because if not, if you got true fans, they'll be like, dude, what happened? In book 2, this happened. Now he got this back in book 6. How did that happen? So even with the stories in the Red Door, like I said, it's like a anthology. If I bring another character back from another episode, I want that character still be like he was from episode 2 up in episode 6. So that's how my main thing is continuity. And anybody I think that does comic books, and you know about the comic books and everything, if the continuity gets jacked up, it's like, what the hell going on? So that's my main thing. That's the main do's and don'ts, is just keep your story focused and make sure your character stays interesting. Give him an arc that he's not overpowered. He can be overpowered. And I know 8-ball, everybody think 8-ball is overpowered because, he whooping people up, but he's a young, cocky kid right now. And his powers, he's just getting into it, and he hasn't been beaten yet. But an ass whooping is coming. Because everybody, once you go up so high, you only go so high, and there's always somebody else that's got to bring you down to humble you. And he's going to get humbled. and that'll come later. But as of right now, he riding high on that, and I'm gonna let him ride high on that because the fact point of he is a badass. But everybody has a weakness, and it's not gonna be a weakness that's kind of obvious. If you look at the first book, and if you see in the second book when I dropped that one, you might get to see like, oh, I see this kind of a little thing going on that's kind of like his Achilles heel. But everybody in my story has weaknesses. Nobody is super OP. Like I got one book called that I'll be dropping it, but it's a story. I might do that as a graphic novel. It's called Godlike. The name of the character is Invictus. He has godlike powers and abilities, but his mind's been wiped. He don't remember how to use it.
Interesting.
So if you got power like that, and you could world-changing reality, warping abilities and stuff like that, that's cool.
Yeah.
You don't know how to. You can't remember how your mind has been completely wiped. You don't know how to use all that. Anything he mostly does is off reflex, and he can't control it. So there's your Achilles heel right there. So you can have infinite power and ability, but if you don't remember how to use that, then you're square one. You know?
Now, just now, you mentioned a different story with a different character. You have, like we've established, you have an entire universe.
Yes.
Will we eventually see these characters from different stories cross paths, interact in any sort of way?
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. As I'm building this, like I tell everybody, I'm building this plane while I'm flying it. And right now, we coming off the runway real good, and we starting to level out. Like I say, it's several stories that I got that has to be brought out in order to keep everything right.
Mm-hmm.
But 8 Ball is the lead story. Hardcore Chronicles of the Hit Squad brings you, it's like the entry point.
Okay.
And Red Door is like the secondary. It all leads in, and as it all starts to come out, you'll see more.
Would you say, like you just said, this world revolves around 8 Ball? So I would assume he is the main character to your universe.
He's one of the main key characters in the universe.
So is
There
it
are several?
So 8 Ball, what like Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker is to Star Wars? Like there's a big galaxy far, far away. We all know that. But the world Star Wars universe kind of revolves around, Darth Vader, Skywalker, Yoda. Like they, for whatever reason, they always cross paths, no matter who or what story we're following. Can we say that we can potentially see your sci-fi universe and your horror universe almost, I guess, integrate into hardcore?
It will.
Or will we see him go on other adventures outside of Florida or outside of its own subject matter?
It would be more. It's put like this. There's a lot more to come.
Okay.
I can't give you all the secrets because then you'd be like, all you got to do is go back and watch the episode. He tell you everything's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, all my universe is interlocked. I don't care how it goes. Like I say, 8 Ball is the key to start the whole engine going. But like any engine, you got to have the engine, you got to have the transmission, you need power steering and everything, stuff like that. There are several key players in here to keep the Swerverse going. 8 Ball is just the start.
Okay.
Baby Doll is another one. Like I told you, the character from Godlike, his name is Invictus. He's another main player in the story. When I introduce you to the Turf Stars, there's another key player inside of that one.
Okay.
And although once everything occurs and it get to like one of the, I would say like in DC, one of those crisis mode,
Okay.
you'll see those characters get together and they will use their powers and abilities and stuff to get through, because in my story, there are certain evils, but there's one major, we say evil baddie, but to him, he's not the evil baddie. You kind of call it like the Thanos thing, but it's not like that at all. But he's manipulating a lot of things to make those stories happen. The reason why Lake Okeechobee and those the algae blooms are contaminated has to do with this certain being.
Okay.
So, like I say, it's something, put like this, there's something in the water in Lake Okeechobee.
Well, I don't want to give up too much of Swerverse because I do want people to check out your comic book, and you can follow him, all of his tags and hashtags and
on my
PO
TikTok
boxes and wherever you can. I'm going to give you his home address. You
come to my house and you'll get some 8 Ball.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you his tags, his license plate number. I got all that. So
my library card.
I'm gonna make
everything.
sure you guys can follow him and stalk him and make him feel like he's, like he has friends. Stuff like stuff like that. But before I kick you out of my store, what is your favorite superhero, regardless if it's mainstream or indie? What can you read consistently?
When I first started out, I cannot lie, I was a Spider-Man,
Yeah.
you know, and I didn't read Spider-Man because I felt like there's something I could. No, I read Spider-Man because it was dope.
Yeah.
I liked it. Tim swinging around. I read comic books for mostly just for the art. If it had a dope cover, I would grab that book and be like, "Wow, I like that," because that's the artist in me. But if I opened the book and it was trash on the inside, it had another artist, it like turned me off. And then I also like the Batman too. I think everybody can say they like Batman because it's Batman. You know what I'm saying? And as that character grew and changed, it went from funny. I'm old too, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. Like when Adam West was Batman, did you?
Wow.
It must have been nice to see the
You
growth.
see how this, like, I was there for like
Batman,
he's
right?
trying to make it like I saw the first episode of fucking Batman with Adam West. I'm not that damn old. You know what I'm saying? Dude, act like I was on the set getting Adam West some water and stuff. That did not happen.
So like, but you remember that, right?
I remember watching
what
Batman
episode?
as a young, small child. Yes, go.
I remember watching the reruns.
I'm a nigga that tonight.
So like, but like, where was I going with this? I just wanted to poke fun at you, so I wasn't going nowhere. But Spider-Man, who was the first? That was your first comic book that you can say.
I like the Spider-Man, X-Men, and I like
Yeah.
the Batman. Superman it didn't have enough grit. I like stuff with a little grit to it. X-Men was cool because I liked how the people were born with their powers and abilities. You didn't have to explain. He fell into a chicken, and now it's Clucking Man, and he can fly around now because he fell into a radiated chicken, or he got bitten by a radioactive chicken. You know what I'm saying? You got Super Rooster or something like that. I don't know.
Pronghorn Leghorn?
There you got a Foghorn Leghorn and shit.
I'll say. I'm up and away.
Listen here, boy.
So,
But-
what was your first pencil to paper? What was the first thing you can remember drawing? Superhero, scene, a bike, whatever you saw. What was the first thing that you said, I drew this well?
I
And your mom put it up on the fridge or whatever.
We didn't do that.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, the best thing, the first thing, like, you know, I am an artist.
The first thing I really drew, it was a competition.
Okay.
I'm old enough to remember when the first RoboCop came out. Yeah.
Jeez.
I slap your beard off. I slap your beard off. It'll be right on the ground.
Dead or alive, you're coming to me.
You know what I'm saying?
Behave yourself.
But it was, one kid challenged. I was in middle school. One kid challenged me to a drawing competition. He said he could beat me drawing. And I'm the type of person like this. I don't judge nobody artwork because I think in art everybody has their own style.
Yeah.
I got my style. You got your style. You might be good at your style. I'm good at my style. It's like Kung Fu. You might be good with praying mantis. You got tiger. I got crane. You know what I'm saying? But everybody can master their stuff. But he was talking that smack. Mm-hmm. You know, he said he could draw better than me. And everybody threw down. Boom. What y'all draw? Something. Have a draw. So he said, let's draw RoboCop because he had done drew RoboCop several times. That was cheating. I never drew RoboCop before. So that night I had a picture of RoboCop. You know what I'm saying? And I just drew RoboCop, the scene from the old movie where he stand out by the car. You know what I'm saying? He's got his leg out. I drew that whole scene.
Yeah.
And smashed it. And that's one of the main things I remember. As far as superheroes and stuff, I just draw Spider-Man. I drew the X-Men. I love the X-Men. My favorite X-Men was Colossus, strong. Okay. I like the way he turned metal and everything and stuff like that. Batman was cool because you could play with the cape and make it high. Back in the 90s and stuff, you know, the capes were huge. He could jump off the building and it block out the whole sun and moon with the cape and everything and stuff. So, but those were the main things I remember drawing. But those first drawing things that I remember in my mind that I really locked in and knew, hey, I could do this, was that freaking RoboCop challenge.
RoboCop's with you.
Wow.
RoboCop.
That's what set the standard for you, the bar.
That set the bar.
All right, that was your run.
There you go.
I like that. That's awesome. Louis, you want to wrap this up, man?
Dude, I actually have one final question.
Yeah, what's up?
So you've been you've been in the scene for a while, right?
Yeah.
You've seen comics. You've seen this entire medium evolve exponentially since how it was in way back in the day, right?
You got some TI shit. Expedition.
Relax, okay.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Are you a fan of how comics and comic movies, comic culture is developing nowadays? Like how do you feel about it now?
I'm like this with comic book culture. I've been reading comic books since they were in the stores on the little book spindle.
Oh, yeah.
And you better not say
I didn't say that, bro.
I swear to God. I'm looking at this dude because he keep trying to put me like I'm an antique. Like I should have been I should have been in the Smithsonian or something like that.
Whatever.
You know what I'm saying? But back to what you're saying.
Whatever.
I seen it grow from that, and I always wondered, like, how could I get into that? You know, I like comics, reading comics and sketching. Right after that RoboCop, I came with one of my first own comic book heroes. His name was Hunk. I don't know why I came with his comic
I remember you telling me about this.
I told you about that.
Yo.
He used to be able to grow real big and everything and stuff, and I used to just draw little pictures of that. And then as I grew, that character changed from growing real big and stuff. That now he's still even in my comic books now, and you will meet him in issue number 2 of Hardcore.
Oh, okay.
And his name is James Kincaid, aka Ghetto Blaster. He can manipulate sound and everything, and you'll get more information about him once you read book 2. But I've been drawing that character. I watched that change. But as far as the industry, that had me start off and made me want to do my own thing. I like to draw on other people's stuff, but I had my own stories I wanted to tell and stuff. And in this medium so far, being an indie creator, I guess you could call me a creator because I do my own thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, but I come to find out that it's a lot of people out there got stories to tell. I come to find out there's a lot of people out there that can draw real well. Some people tell stories real good, but they don't draw, and I still think that's cool too. But I think comic books are a visual medium, so I look more to the artist and stuff too, because you could be a writer and you should make a graphic novel and your stuff to sell if it's good. But if you want to build a comic book, you got to have the art to go with it. You got to have certain colors and everything to go with it to make it pop and shine. Or you can just keep it black and white, but it's still those two. It's a visual medium. You got to have those two things. And a lot of people in these square circles, some people I think get kind of, they do certain things, they get kind of arrogant. And me, I'm like this. I want to help everybody. If you drawing, I see your stuff, you are young. I talk to a lot of young artists that when I'm at cons, because I did a lot of cons. Young artists, they'll come up to me, they'll show me their portfolio. I'll be like, that's good. They're like, you got any advice to me? Yeah, take an hour or 30 minutes out there every day and draw. Don't draw what you're good at, draw what you're not good at, so you become better at that.
Okay.
If you have a problem with hands and stuff like that, you draw hands. If you good at drawing torsos and chest stuff, perfect. Draw me some legs. Put it all, get better and put it all together. That way you'll have a good art form. When I was started out, they had the internet.
Yeah. Dial up.
I know. I'm gonna dial you round up. I told you.
But
But
too, bro.
like I said,
I remember.
I used to get the anatomy books. You know, I would go to school.
Completely blocked me out.
I sure did. You see that, right?
I'll just hang out right here.
They had anatomy books, so I learned from reading those anatomy books and stuff, and looking at anatomy and stuff on the internet to get better with my art and everything.
Yeah.
So with that, and still in this medium as it grows, it's still developing, and a lot of people worried about AI. I had some people come at me at the last con I just did. I was at IC3 up in Jacksonville. Great. I had a great experience. It's great. Like it. Want to come back next year? Put the brother up. But
you guys are watching.
if you know,
This is your guy.
it's me, Swerve Comics, Marvin McDonald. The anomaly. That's what I call myself
Anomaly.
now. The anomaly. It happens.
Get on with it.
So, but it's just everybody's worried about AI. You know, I had several people come up and ask me, "Is this book AI?" And I'm literally have my drawing tablet on my lap. I'm working on a Ninja Turtle design, and you asked me about AI.
Right.
I'm showing you right now I can draw.
Right.
You know, and it's like, no, I use AI in advertising. I use AI in marketing. Like I have some of my 8 balls animated and stuff like that. Some of my characters animated. Give you like a little scene. None of the scenes are from the comic book, but it's just different stuff I put up to show you 8 ball fighting, some of the characters in the book and stuff like that. That's to keep you invested in that. That's the end game I want to go. Of course, I would like to see me keep going with the comic books, but anybody who does comics want to see their character brought to life on the screen. You can watch it on TV. You can watch it in the movies. That's why X-Men and the Avengers and all that stuff looked so great when they first dropped that first Iron Man movie. Iron Man was like what, B class?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He wasn't. The Avengers was not the top game. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But when that movie first dropped, it was like, what?
Yeah.
You know, so that's the end game for any art person that's doing comics. You want to see that character move. You want to see it grow. But in the industry itself and how it's evolving, I would say it's good, but everybody's worried about AI.
Now, we live in a time with accessibility to the internet, to AI. Would you say it is too easy to get into the comic industry, with like where you can have somebody with a terrible idea and they can go edit AI whatever and then put it out?
I actually, the last Comic Con I did was Southwest Florida Con, and it was this guy. He was a comic writer, but his entire comic book was illustrated through AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, it was a nice comic book.
Okay.
But he did not allow you to believe that it was his own art.
Okay.
In the book and verbally, he would say, "Yeah, this is my AI comic book that I wrote."
Okay.
And I can respect that.
Yeah, if you're honest with that.
Yeah.
If you're honest with it, he's not telling you, I'm the artist of this comic book.
Right.
He's saying, I created a comic book. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You created it. You wrote it out stuff. AI did all the work for you. But that's just still like, I look at it like this. That's just like hiring somebody else in somewhere in the other little areas, countries, Peru or whatever, you get an artist to do that for you. You're still hiring somebody like that. But a lot of artists get sour about that. Oh, you're taking work from us, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Okay, but that's how he did it.
Yeah.
And as long as he's being honest with it, he's telling you up front, hey, that's AI stuff right there. You know, boom, there it is. Be honest about it. Don't come here claiming, like, I made a comic book. Yo, that's me. Yeah, I did it. And I'll be like, well, draw your character. And it's like, uh-oh, glitch. You know, but a lot of people they get frustrated about AI. And some comic books don't have a great story. It's just that person wants to tell that story.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I don't disrespect. Like I say, everybody got their own thing they want to do. They got their own art style. If you sit down and it's funny to you or it's crazy to you and you want to put it out there. Now in this day and age, I will tell you like this. I still hold that rejection letter I got from Image Comics.
Whoa, did you just call him out? Did you?
Yeah.
Yo,
I'm not salty. I'm not salty, but I'm just saying I put in stuff. But back then, it was.
I even gave that one to breathe.
He's still doing it. Still doing it. Still doing it. Still doing it.
Sorry.
Still doing it. I'm just saying. I submitted some stuff to Image, and they said they wasn't taking stuff from independent artists at that point in time. That was when the big boys, Jim Lee and all them, went over there.
Yeah.
But I asked.
But it's all good, bro.
And they just told me they didn't like, nah, get out of here, motherfucker, trying to hang with us. You know what I'm saying? It was like, we're not accepting independent artists and stuff right now. But they say keep doing your thing, and draw some art stuff. And me, maybe in my arrogance, hubris, it was like I just want to draw my shit. You know,
True. Very
but
true.
I still got that letter, and I hold on to it. That letter fueled me to also keep moving forward to do my own thing and create my own comic.
Yeah.
So you can create your own stuff nowadays. It's easy. Get a Wacom tablet if you want to do digital, or you do a pencil and paper. You sketch. You can still old school it, pencil it, ink it, get the ruler out, do the old school line and lettering your stuff and everything, or get the like I said, the Wacom digital ink it, color it, Photoshop, Illustrator, all the other programs they got out there for it.
Yeah.
And send it to a printer and get it printed out. And now they also put in there for people who use AI. A lot of people asked. I had somebody say something to me because I do a lot of my animated stuff. Of course it's AI. I'm not an animator. I never said that. I said I was a race car driver part-time, astronaut part-time. I also cashier at Dillard's. I'm an artist, you know what I'm saying? I never said I did animation, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to see how my character would look running around and stuff like that. I got that. I show those when I'm at cons. That's just cool to have that playing in the background. But I'm also sitting there and I'm drawing.
Absolutely.
And if not, look at my posters and stuff I have in there. And everybody, I tell you, I draw, I write, I color, I do all of that. I'm proud of that. Not trying to say I'm a one-trick pony, but I'm not just a traditional artist. I'm also a graphic artist too. I also design all the stuff for my shirts and everything. I got another friend of mine named Matt. He helps with like all the acrylic prints and stuff like that. And me and him, we collab on a lot of crazy ideas and stuff. And trust me, it's more stuff to come. We're gonna have more stuff to present at Ocala Comic Con in September. In September. Yeah, in September. So just be on the lookout. Issue 2 will be here with Hardcore Chronicles of the Hit Squad, number 2, and number 3 is falling right behind that one. I promise you that'll be out sooner. Like I say, I'm stepping more into the role of taking the full throttle into the Swerveverse. I want everybody to see what it's all about. I want you to become Swervians. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? I want
Absolutely.
y'all to
Swervians.
understand it's not just a comic book. Like I said, I'm trying to build a brand here.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm trying to give you more of the experience. I just don't want you to walk away with a comic book. I want you to walk away with memories and like just merch and be like, I like the Swerverse. So there you have it.
All right. Well, to wrap this up, let the fans know where they can find you.
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at Swerve_comics. On my Instagram is Swerve69comics. And on Facebook, it's under the Swerverse.
All right.
And you can also find me at www.swervecomics.com. If you like any of the merch you see here, from shirts and stuff like here, this guy's wearing one of the coolest, newest shirts right here with my main man 8-Ball on it. And some people, you're not sad, you just need my comic book. You know what I'm saying? So that shirt lets you know what your problem is.
For sure.
So I got all kinds of merch. Like I said, I just don't want you to have the comic book. I want you to have the experience.
All right.
And there you have it.
Well, Marvin, thanks for stopping by.
You're welcome.
Having this moment in spotlight.
I'm not that old.
No, he's not that old. But he does need to get home soon.
It's getting dark.
It's getting dark.
It's my bedtime.
Yeah, because his knees are getting a little tight.
And I have arthritis.
Well, I'm Rico.
I'm Lewis.
This is Marvin McDonald, yours truly, also known as the Anomaly.
The Anomaly.
It happened.
And this is Between the Staples and the Spotlight.
Peace.
Peace.
Opening these pages while we sitting at the table, getting every detail just to make sure we stay faithful. Interviewing artists and we making sure it's playful, man. Presented by Reflection, and this is Between the Staples.